You following me? Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Oh, I can actually show. Alright, motherfuckers. Get in here, you nigs. Hey, okay. I see I have shit to talk about today, so fucking come in before I start jerking off to my fucking Tinder photos. Loquacious, tell me this does not look exactly like what's her name? Laura Skanko. Yes or no? Can you see, or is it too blurry? If it's too blurry, I can post it in Discord. I swear to God, like, this girl looks exactly like Sanko. Fucking exactly. What's up, Big Rig? How's it going? A bit. Yeah, you probably can't tell because of the quality and shit, but I'll post it in Kaylee Madison. That is not you. This girl's name is Kara. So that's not you, you liar. Oh yeah, more in that second pick. I think it's actually more in the first pick. You just, like, look, like, that's fucking Skanko, dude. You can't really tell from the pick. Like, I'll post it in Discord. Anyways. He got two phones. Oh, this is my old phone. I only use this phone for Tinder, and now I'm using it for. I took pictures. I took pictures of each fighter matchup and some stats, so I can fucking remember each matchup. So I use this phone on my hotspot, which is all bugged out. So it's like it's very spotty, but yeah, I think like. The reason why I haven't talked a whole lot about MMA on these streams is because I don't have Tapology on me. And it'd be so nice to have Tapology just fucking up so I can like remember everything. One for the plug, one for the load. Exactly, dude, exactly. And Loquacious, if you notice, I have a new stream link on my thing. I'm not doing Power Chat anymore because mail sent. Thank you, Loquacious. Email Melson said that Streamlabs doesn't take anything. There's no fees, whereas Power Chat took 13%, I think. Yeah, because Polidori donated $10 to me. I got that today. Thank you, Polidori. I know you're not here, but if you watch this at some point, thank you so much. Or Lisa Riley. I'm sorry. Thank you, Lisa Riley. But they take 13%, and this will still take, well, it depends on how I cash it, but it'll take 0 or up to like 2%, but it's a lot less. Venmo. Yes, I don't actually have Venmo downloaded on either of my phones right now. I thought I did, so preferably not Venmo, but I can log back into it. That's okay, MMA Joe. I'm sure they're just on to your hot dog consumption. But without any further ado, let's start the fucking stupid prelims that no one gives a shit about. Cameron, I'm going to call him Cameron Seaman. I'm a full member. Before I start, today I don't know if it came in today because I haven't checked the mail in a week, but today in the mail I got my Cashapp card, my Cashapp credit card. So any donations with Cashapp, that would be like fucking awesome because I don't have to worry about sending it to my bank and having a fee because yeah, I just have a card that's directly to my Cashapp account, which is really fucking cool. So Cashapp would be my preferred donation thing, but also the Streamlabs thing. Any method, I would appreciate it. But yeah, I got my card today. That's cool. So today we have I make my hot dogs from strats. What do you make your hot dogs out of, MMA Joey? Out of fucking little baby bones and shit? Because you eat the babies and you grind the bones up into a fucking casing, and that's what I imagine. Anyways, without further ado, UFC 282 to start off the to start off the fucking night, we have a bantamweight fight between two new people. Cameron, I'm going to call him Seaman. His name's not Seaman. I'm going to call him Cameron Seaman from South Africa versus Stephen Koslow from America, I think. Their reach is exactly the same. Seaman's 21 years old. Other guy's 25, so they're both pretty young. This one's really hard. I don't have too much to fucking say about this shit. What's up, Kamikaze? How's it going? A nice video today. It was fun watching it. Also, it made me really fucking scared watching it because we have a lot of different opinions. And considering you're 75%, and I'm like just a fucking cunt hair below 60% over these last 5 cards, it makes me a little hesitant in even giving out my opinions on this. But I am relatively confident in some of my picks that you picked the opposite. But like, it's MMA, anything can fucking happen. What's up, Smegma Trillionaire Gus? How's it going, buddy? So this fight, because they're two newcomers, Seaman was in the fucking what's it called? The fucking Contender Series. I think he's like a -300 favorite or some shit like that, which is crazy. They're both 6-0. They're basically the same height. Seaman's an inch taller. And I don't have much to say about this other than I know Koslow's more of a grappler and Seaman's a little bit more of a striker who can grapple as well. I researched a little bit of this fight, but I want to do more research before I actually make a pick here. Right now I'm going to say Seaman basically just because he's a 3-1 favorite, but I would not be surprised at all if Koslow wins at all. Both these guys are way too inexperienced to truly give a full prediction. No, his name is Simon, Saaiman, but I'm calling him Seaman because I think it's funny. So Seaman's my pick right now. Do not fucking bet it. You're retarded if you bet it. Next fucking fight. Daniel Da Silva versus Vinicius Salvador. Another fucking tough one. I believe Salvador this is either his debut or it's his second. Like, he's new. I know he's new. Silva has been retarded. I picked Silva in his last fight against, I don't remember who he fought, but I remember he kept putting him. He had the fucking worst fight. Like his skills, Daniel Da Silva's skills are pretty fucking good. And he's a moron. He's kind of like, he's not exactly like, but he's kind of like Iwan Kutalaba in the sense that he's got skills, but he's absolutely retarded, and I can't go with him. I know he's on a 3-fight losing streak. I don't really care about the 3-fight losing streak that much. I care about how he's lost those 3 fights. He's an absolute moron, man. I like his skills, and I really like his skills, actually. I think if you put a different brain inside his body and kept the same skill set, he'd be a pretty good fighter. But I have to go with Salvador in this fight. And I think he's a 2-1 favorite. Sadly, this does not have the odds on here. But I'm going Salvador right now. But only because I absolutely fucking hate Silva's fight IQ. It's atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. It's like he looks for bad places to put himself in. It's crazy. Had more concussions in his life. Very true. Definitely had more concussions in his life. And as of recently, he's been getting the shit beat out of him. But I'm gonna go to the next fight. Like, these early fights, I don't have a whole lot to say because I'm not super autistic. I can't watch all these fights. I can't, and like, they're so inexperienced that even if I did spend all the time watching all their fucking fights, it's still a fucking crapshoot. I would not be surprised if Silva won. Like, I really would not. But like, I'm not putting either of these first 2 fights in my DraftKings roster. I'm not doing it unless there's like a really good. Like, if the odds shift drastically and I get a really good price on one of them, then maybe, but it's super fucking risky. It can be quite a torture watching their fights. Yeah, dude, exactly. And this is the most research I've put into a UFC card, and I don't know how fucking long, because I wanted to make a video like this. But with the early ones, I'm like, fuck, dude, there's only so much you can do without fucking like going crazy. Watching Trico's fights was AIDS just trying to pull out. Like, that's the reason. That's exactly the reason why generally I don't even look at the card and I don't even start thinking about it until the night before. Generally, but I want to start. I want to start getting something going, and I downloaded the update for YouTube app, and I saw that there's the go live together fucking function, and I would love to go live with Musical or Kamikaze or someone, anyone from Jerusalem. Loquacious, literally any of you motherfuckers want to go live with me and want to have a back and forth, that'd be fucking awesome. So that's why I'm doing this now. But yeah, on to the next fight. We got Downtown TJ Brown versus Eric Silva. I don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn on a couple fights on this card for the same reason. TJ Brown is Bryce Mitchell's main training partner, and he was featured heavily in what's it called, Homegrown Fighter. And I really like both those guys, and I followed their career since then. But to be honest, TJ Brown has not been fucking impressive at all. I forgot who he lost to last fight. This is why I would love to have a fucking Tapology screen right here so I can fucking go through it, because I'm not that autistic where I can fucking remember everything. I think, and Eric Silva's new, if I'm not mistaken, even though he's 35 years old. I believe he just got to the UFC. The strike differential is insane. The striking accuracy between them is insane, but there isn't a whole lot of stats to go with an Eric Silva, so that's why there's a giant discrepancy. I'm going to go with Eric Silva just because I have been super, super underwhelmed with TJ Brown. Also with TJ Brown, I know that him and Bryce Mitchell started training with James Krause like not that long ago. I want to say within the last year or so. So that can't help that situation. He can't fucking train with one of his main coaches now. That can't be good for him. I forgot what the odds are on this. I totally forgot what the odds are on this. I think it's a pick'em right now. Okay. Yes, I looked at it before. It is a pick'em, -110 each. I think because it's a pick'em, you have to go with Eric Silva. You just fucking have to. Like TJ Brown has not been impressive. On to the next fight. Now we're getting into fights that I'm like excited to talk about. Billy Quarantillo versus Alexander the Great Ape Hernandez. At first glance and at first thought, I was going Quarantillo. But I think I'm going to go with the underdog here and go with Hernandez. And the reason why is because he's bigger. He's coming down from lightweight, I believe. He's going to be more jacked. Like, as long as he can handle the weight cut, which that's a big if. But he's gonna be shorter with a longer reach, which is really huge. He's younger, and I feel like he doesn't use his grappling a whole lot. But I feel like if he gets in trouble with Billy, he can probably take his ass down. And Billy Quarantillo, he's a fucking gamer. Like, he's definitely one of my more liked fighters in the cage of like the mid to lower tiers of the division. But because like if Quarantillo was the underdog, I'm probably taking Quarantillo. But Alexander's the underdog. He's plus 135. And every single fight in his UFC career, besides his first two, his very first fight in the UFC, he knocked out Beneil Dariush in like a minute. And then everyone's like, "Holy shit, this guy's gonna be something." And then he won his next fight, and then ever since then, it's been lose win, and he's coming off a loss. And he's so iffy. He's so fucking like, it's hard to like say for sure. Like, I'm not super confident in this pick at all. Like, I just flopped to this pick today, or yes, it was either last night or today. But I'm going to go with Alexander Hernandez, and I'm going to go with a late finish. I'm going to go with like a third round TKO. I think early on, Billy probably pieces him up a little bit in the striking, and then I think in the second and third round, he's going to come to his sentence. He's going to start fucking grappling. He's going to get that motherfucker down, start elbowing the motherfucker. I'm going late third round stoppage, but I could also see it being a decision. Good fight, though. That is a fight I am very, very, very excited for. Now for me, this is the fight of the card in terms of I could see it like well the last one too, but this one especially like I can see it going either way. Joaquin Buckley versus Chris Curtis. Fuck, dude, they're the same exact height. They're about the same exact reach. Um, Buckley's 7 years younger, which I think helps him. So when I first saw this fight, I thought for sure 100% Chris Curtis would be the favorite. But no, Joaquin Buckley is a minus 150 favorite, which is fucking crazy. It's absolutely fucking crazy. Sorry, I'm not reading chat right now. I genuinely can't read chat and do this at the same time. Sorry, but I will try my best. Billy Q by Squidward. No, it's he kind of looks like no. What's her name? Casey O'Neill. Every fight she wins is via Squidward. But this fight right here, I am leaning Joaquin Buckley. When I heard this fight, I thought for sure Buckley would be the underdog, which would make me like my pick 10 times more. But even as a slight favorite, I think I still like Buckley here. And it's because Chris Curtis, like, it's fucking tough. It's really fucking tough because he did just lose to Jack Hermanson on the feet, but it was a short notice fight, and like the cards were kind of stacked against him in that fight. So I don't hold that too much against him, right? But people think his striking is like amazing. If you look at everyone he's fought pretty much in his entire UFC career, it's mostly grapplers, and he's knocking out mostly grapplers. Now he's facing an actual fucking striker who can grapple. Buckley's been slowly implementing more and more grappling, which he fucking should, giving his physical advantages. It's a good idea. And even though he lost his last fight versus that Russian guy, I forgot his name. Even though he lost that fight, I picked him to win that fight. And that fight went almost exactly like how I thought it was going to go. I picked him by third round KO. I thought he was going to lose first 2 rounds and then come back with a vicious storm. And that's exactly what happened. He just didn't get the KO, but he was smashing this motherfucker. And man, I just see him doing the same thing to fucking Curtis. I think Curtis will probably be winning the early exchanges, but Buckley's power fucking stays, man. I think Buckley either finishes him in the 3rd round or gets the decision win. But it's so fucking tough. I could switch this. I could definitely switch this to Chris Curtis. Depends on how the odds go. Because the odds always shift like fucking crazy. And this seems like it would be a fight where the odds would shift. I suspect this fight will be much closer to even money by the time the fight starts. So if you're betting Buckley, I would probably hold off on that. If you're betting Curtis, I would fucking bet him right now because I just feel like, I mean, maybe they're looking at his last performance a little bit too much, but like looking at this fight, when I first heard this fight, I was like, holy shit, like I could see it going either fucking way. Buckley by decision is a good pick. Curtis showed 0 adaptability against Jack. True. And knew he was down. Just let him cut off the cage and backpedal the whole time. Yeah, and I feel like Buckley's like a pressure fighter, and Buckley's never gonna fucking stop. And Buckley's got fucking power. Like Buckley's been getting better. When he first got into the UFC, he was pretty much a glass cannon, and he still kind of is a glass cannon. Like his chin fucking worries me for sure in this fight. In every single fight he's in, his chin is a little bit worrisome. But I think he's quicker. I think he might even be able to take down Chris Curtis once or twice if he needs to. And Curtis is a much more active striker than Buckley, but once again, it's against grapplers. Like this is a completely different matchup for him. So I'm gonna go Buckley. Either late 3rd round KO or decision. I don't know. Buckley by decision is 350. That's a good bet. If you can parlay that, or not parlay it, but if you hedge that with maybe Curtis by decision as well. I don't see Curtis finishing Buckley. He could. He fucking could. Maybe. Okay, I take that back. I don't say that. If you go Buckley, I would go finish. I possibly like. This is the fight that is absolutely the hardest for me to call into. Like I could see it going either fucking way. They're both in that just below the rankings. I think they both can just murder all the fucking cans and all the mid-tier people in middleweight. But both of them, I don't see any future in either of them. Like once they hit the rankings, I think what happened with Curtis and Hermansson would happen if Buckley wins this fight and he wins the next fight, and he fights a ranked opponent. Very, very fucking likely he's going to lose that fight. I just think these guys are like the same exact tier, different fighters, but same tier fighter, like that B tier. And I really like both fighters. I think they're both entertaining. On to the next fights. We got Edmund Shabazian versus Dalcha Lungiambula. Holy shit! Why is this fight like higher up than Curtis and Buckley? I have no fucking idea why. That fight is way higher level than this fight. They both have cardio issues. I know they're both off 3-fight losing streaks. Edmund is for some reason a -300 favorite, which is fucking crazy. Like Edmund has not been very good, but I'm gonna go with Edmund Shabazian here because Dalcha Lungiambula has probably the worst cardio I think I've ever seen, and he doesn't have a chin. And I don't have a whole lot to say on this fight because they both are ass. I will say, I think Dalcha, like, I wouldn't bet on this fight at all. I think you're done. You're betting this fight. This is like a very, very low level MMA fight, and you should not bet low level MMA fights generally, especially when when both their cardios are this suspect. And cardio is like my favorite attribute for a fighter to have. I think it's the most important attribute to have. Edmund shouldn't be -300 exactly. 150 at best. I would put him at like 180 -200 at best. I would probably put him at 175, 180. And it's just because Lungiambula is so fucking. He's so fucking, like, you cannot rely on his cardio. You can't rely on his chin. You can't rely on his decision making. You can't rely on anything about him. Where Edmund, you can't really either. But he's got better wins in his career. So I'm going to trust that. He's also, well, I just saw this right now. So Dalcha is 5'8". Edmund is 6'2". But Dalcha has the 2-inch reach advantage. So that's something. But Dalcha is also 10 years older, which is like, historically, I think that's like you have like a 30% chance of winning or less if you're 10 years older than your opponent. Historically, that's not a good thing. So I'm going to go with Edmund. Would not be surprised if Dalcha wins. I think that's a shit fight, stupid fucking fight. Don't know why it's ahead of Buckley Curtis. Don't know why it's above Quarantillo Hernandez. Don't know why it's above TJ Brown, Eric Silva. Have no idea. That fight is fucking bottom of the barrel. I don't give a fuck about that fight, to be honest. Next fight, Raul Rosas Jr. versus Jay Perrin or Perrin. At first glance, I thought I was going to take Jay as the underdog, but looking into it a little bit, scratching the surface, Raul is so fucking terrible on the feet, but for an 18-year-old, for some reason, he is really fucking strong. He's definitely sauced up. He's definitely inbreaded up. He's got that grip strength. And because Jay Perrin is not he's not a striker, he hasn't looked good on his feet in his first 2 fights. I'm gonna go with Raul Rosas, but this is another fight where I don't think you should fucking bet it at all. He's -250 or something like that right now. I get why, but these Contender Series guys and their first fight in the UFC, and all of a sudden they're fucking big favorites. I don't like that. I don't think you should bet that at all. But maybe you should bet Rosas Jr. by decision. That might be decent. That might be fucking decent. But Dalcha cucked Omar Kuckel's parents back in the jungle Congo. True. Yeah, that's what happened. That's the only thing Dalcha has going for him, is that cucks tend to pick guys like him to get cucked by. But I'm going to go with Raul Rosas Jr. I'm not very confident in this pick. There's a lot of fights on this card. Like, this is not a fucking it's not a pay-per-view card at all. I don't care what you say. Like, the main event is co-main event level pay-per-view stuff, and the rest of it, it's I don't know. But these next fights are decent. Not a good card to bet on fucking at all. I 100% agree, Kamikaze. I predict there's gonna be some crazy bottom feeders in our Tapology group on this one. It might be me. It could easily fucking be me. I've never been the lowest yet, thank God. If it wasn't for Mr. Gapier on one of them, I would have been the lowest. But thank you, Mr. Gapier, for being a worse predictor than me. But yeah, this is a fucking tough one. On to the next fight. Another fucking tough one. I could see going either way. We got Biggie Boy Jairzinho Rosenstrike versus Chris, my brother's knee, not going to say it, Dawkins. At first glance, I was thinking Rosenstrike. And then last night, I was thinking, Dawkins has the hand speed. He could fucking catch Rosenstrike. He actually does have the fucking... he actually does have the hand speed and the footwork to go in and out on Jairzinho. I think Biggie Boy is minus 170 here. But then I was fucking doing more research today and thinking about it again. And I just think Rosenstrike's kickboxing background is gonna carry him through here. They're about the same age, they're about the same size. Dawkins lands way more strikes, way fucking more strikes. Neither of them fucking go for takedowns. So this is going to be a stand-up fight. If you're betting on this fight, there depending on what site you bet on, there are certain sites I know where you don't have to you don't have to bet a side. Just bet finish by knockout. This is going to end in a knockout 9 times out of 10, if not a decision. No one's getting submitted here. But I'm going to go Biggie Boy. I think he's more experienced standing up, and I think for the majority of the fight, I think Dawkins will land more strikes, but in traditional Biggie Boy fashion, I think the South American Derek Lewis. Yes, he's like the fatter South American Derek Lewis, and that's how I have him winning via Derek Lewis losing the majority of the fight, losing the majority of the exchanges, but he's gonna find that knockout shot. Dawkins leaves himself way too fucking exposed. He's really good at going in and out, but he's not really good at protecting himself when he's going in and out. And I think Rosenstrike's gonna fucking catch him. I'm gonna go brutal KO in the early second round by Rosenstrike. Don't bet on this fight though, unless you're betting finish by knockout. That's one of the most solid bets I think of the card, is that fight is going to be finished by knockout. But I'm not very confident at all on the side. I've been flip-flopping the entire time. Next fight. This is the one I'm most emotionally invested in, and I flip-flopped on this too. Bryce Mitchell versus Ilia Topuria. Don't do that. Thank you. They're both undefeated. I mean, but when they fucking announce Bryce Mitchell, they always say 15-1, and I don't. It's because he was on the undefeated Ultimate Fighter, and the caveat to that Ultimate Fighter was like, if you lost, even though it's like it's an exhibition match, they would still count it towards your main fight. So every single record thing you see on Bryce Mitchell says 15-0, but when they announce him, it's 15-1. I think that's bullshit. I don't think you can really count those, like the fucking Ultimate Fighter house. That's like a void. That's like its own separate thing, and I don't think that should count towards the record. That being said, they're both undefeated. And when I first heard this matchup, I was like, oh, Bryce Mitchell's all day. He's going to fucking take him down, and he's going to fucking slow cook him to the bone. But I did more research last night, and I was massively underestimating Ilia's grappling and his wrestling ability. Massively. Fucking massively. And, striking, if Ilia does not give a shit about Bryce's takedown, if this fight, in the first minute, I imagine in the first minute and a half, Bryce is going to go for a takedown. If Ilia stuffs that shit, Bryce is absolutely fucked. This is not going to go well for him. But I see this fight being an absolute war. Bryce, I think, is just one of those guys that's going to be really fucking hard to finish no matter who he's fighting. So I definitely see this as a decision. And I'm gonna go. I don't want to do this because I fucking love Bryce Mitchell, but right now, Ilya Topuria minus 140. I do think after looking at it last night, I do think he's got the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling to nullify Bryce Mitchell. And if you can do that, I don't know. Bryce Mitchell's hands are good. That's the thing, though. Like if you watch Bryce Mitchell on the pads, he looks fucking incredible. His pad guy, I forgot his name, but his pad guy is fucking awesome. I love that guy. And Bryce looks amazing on the pads, and his hand speed is really fucking good. But Ilya Topuria's striking is fucking insane. And I don't remember what fighter it was, but I was watching MMA fighters pick. It was a stupid fucking what's his name, James Lynch, a video. I don't ever watch his videos like with him in it, but I'll occasionally watch his videos where it says like fighters pick, et cetera, and it was fighters pick Bryce Mitchell and Ilya Topuria. I don't remember who the fighter was, but one fighter trained with both of them, and he said if this fight stays standing, Bryce is fucked. And it's hard to go against some that's like insider information. He could be wrong. He could totally be wrong. But considering he's trained with both these motherfuckers, and he's saying Ilya has a massive advantage on the feet, which I already knew anyways. And he's saying that he thought it would stay on the feet. Like that's what really swayed me. And like it's gonna be a war. This is not gonna be an easy. Whoever wins this fight, it will not be easy. To me, this is fight of the card for sure. This is the fight I'm most looking forward to in terms of my emotional investment, because I really want Bryce to win, but I am 99% sure I'm picking Ilya Topuria. Decision for sure. That this fight has crazy decision war written all over it. On to the next fight: Darren Till versus Dricus du Plessis, or Dricus du Plessis, I like to call him. This one's a tough one too, because stylistically, I do think this favors Till. I think this favors Till way more than his last 6 fights. However, Darren Till looks fucking awful physically. He looks like a 40-year-old man. Look at this guy. Look at this fucking guy. He looks like he's 40. He's genuinely aged 10 years in the last 3 or 4. It's crazy. And his body looks fucking terrible. And even though I 1,000% believe, I know for almost a certainty that he will be catching Dricus coming in regularly. Darren's a counter striker and Dricus charges forward. This is absolute recipe for Dricus to get knocked out. Except I don't think Darren Till has fucking knockout power at middleweight. I don't even think he really had it at welterweight. He knocked out one dude, I want to say, early on in his career, and that's it, or maybe 2. But this one's tough for me because stylistically, I think Till wins via abandoning his daughter's true toast. I agree, but I have to go with Dricus here. I think he's minus 190, and I think there's more and more people betting on Till because they're seeing the stylistic matchup. Yeah, I agree. Darren has a 1-2, but he's a counter 1-2. I agree. MMA Joey, I 100%. But against someone like Dricus, that might be all you need. If he can stop Dricus's takedowns, we don't even know if Dricus will go for a takedown here. I think he will, and this is why I lean Dricus. If this was a pure stand-up fight, I'm going Darren Till. Even with his alcoholism and DUIs and his daughters in the wood chipper and his life in shambles and his career in shambles, even with all that, stylistically, this is a Till fight. However, I do think Dricus is gonna be able to eat the shots. And I think in the early second round, he's just gonna start taking them down. And I think he's gonna start taking them down at will. And once that happens, I just see Darren Till giving up, because I feel like Darren Till has given up on his career. And yeah, I would not be surprised if Darren Till wins this at all. This is a favorable matchup just skill-wise, but it's highly unfavorable in terms of motivation-wise. And they're the same age. I did not know that. Darren Till's still only 29. He looks like he's 43. Drickus is 28, but Drickus looks like a 28-year-old. Like you can tell Drickus cares about his he cares about his career, and you can tell Darren Till doesn't. So I don't think you should bet on this unless if you like Till, fucking bet on this fight for sure. If you like Drickus, I would not bet on this fight. I don't think minus 190 is good odds. If it goes down to like minus 150, minus 140, I think it's a decent bet. Minus 190 because of the skill set, I don't like it. I don't fucking like it, but I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what Till fucking looks like after pulling out of like 9 fights in the past 4 years. Like, it's crazy how many fights he's pulled out of. I can't believe he hasn't pulled out of this fight yet. I predicted he would have pulled out of this fight like weeks ago. Like, I'm so surprised that Darren is still in this fight. The only reason why I think Darren Till is in this fight is because the UFC had to have said, we don't care how fucking injured you are, you're fighting this fight or you're getting cut. That I genuinely believe UFC said something like that to him, which is another reason why I'm going with Drickus, is because I think it's relatively likely that Darren Till is injured. He doesn't take care of his body. He drinks like every single fucking day, or at least multiple times a week, which is really fucking stupid if you're a fighter. It's really fucking stupid, period. Sorry, Toasty, but it is. Like, if you care about your body, but if your body is what you do as a career, it's absolutely retarded. So many better drugs you can do with that wouldn't murder your body. So I'm gonna say Darren Till probably comes to this fight injured and Drickus wins, but I do like the matchup for Till. Would not be surprised if he wins. On to the next one. Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Alex the Great White Morono. Ponzinibbio is minus 180 here, and I fucking love that bet. I think you should hammer that shit. Ponzinibbio ain't losing this fight. In my opinion, he did not lose to Jeff Neal. He beat Jeff Neal. In my opinion, he did not lose to Michel Pereira, however you say it. He won. Like, I truly believe that Ponzinibbio, I forgot, he got starched by someone. But since he got knocked out, he had 2, I think he won. I think 4 fights ago he got knocked out, and then he won a fight, and then he's lost his last 2 by split decision. But his last 2, I thought he won both of them. Alex Morono, he's on a 4-fight winning streak, but if you look at the fighters he's beating, it's not impressive. Great White KO, I don't see it at all. No way, dude. He fucking beat Neal. Like, I'd have to watch that fight again. It's been a while. Like, I'm not autistic. I can't remember all I know is watching that fight live, I thought Ponzinibbio won. It was either way, it was close. Whether you thought he won or lost his last 2 fights, he was fighting 2 badasses, 2 guys with both in Pereira and Neal. I think both those guys destroy Morono. I don't think Morono's anywhere near that level. Morono's mid-tier. Those guys are pretty high tier. And Ponzinibbio losing split decisions that could have easily gone his way to those guys. And I don't see a route for victory for Morono. I think Ponzi is way too slick on the feet. And I don't see Morono taking him down either. I think he's going to try, but I don't see him taking him down. Maybe once or twice. But at 180, Ponzinibbio, I think he should be like minus 250, maybe minus 300, something like that. I go Ponzi by decision all fucking day. Maybe late round TKO, but I like Ponzi by decision. He got brutally robbed by Neal. Thank you, Nubby. Thank you. It was. I don't think it was brutally robbed. I also think it was close. But I remember watching that fight being, Larry, buddy, don't. I remember thinking, okay, fuck. Ponzi's looking pretty good here. And in his last fight against Michel Pereira, that fight should have been a 5-rounder. If that fight was a 5-rounder, Ponzi wins it easy. But yeah, I'm going. I think Ponzi at minus 180. I think that's like one of the best deals of the card. Larry, fucking stop! Holy shit. Pay-per-view sales prediction. Ooh, bad. They're not. I could give a prediction, but they're not going to release it. My prediction is that they won't release it because it will be so bad. It might hit 250, maybe, fucking maybe. But who on this card is a pay-per-view draw outside of Paddy Pimblett? And is Paddy Pimblett even a pay-per-view draw? He probably is in the UK, but the UK they don't buy the pay-per-views. They buy BT Sport, and like it comes with a package and shit. So I don't think UK stuff even counts towards the pay-per-view numbers. So I think they're fucking lucky if this goes 250. This is not a star-studded card. There's some interesting fights. There's a lot of like what the fuck fights. I have no idea what's going to happen because it's so low level, and there's a lot of very interesting fights you can see going either way just because of the style matchup. But I don't think this is going to be a good pay-per-view. Like most of the time, I forgot what I was going to say there. Fuck. Oh yeah, most of the time at the end of the year, it's a crazy pay-per-view. Last year was a fucking crazy pay-per-view. The year before, crazy pay-per-view. This year, it feels like a fight night. I was more excited about last week's card, and I'm more excited about next week's card than I am about this card, which is really fucking crazy considering this is a pay-per-view. But there's a lot of things that are out of the UFC's control. People dropping out of fights left and right. Can't help it. On to the co-main event. Paddy Pimblett versus Jared Flash Gordon. I think this is a very easy one to pick. I don't see a route. I don't see how Jared Gordon wins this fight. I mean, obviously, if he does, it's a decision. But I think Paddy could sub him. I think Paddy could knock him out. I think, Paddy by sacrifice. I don't have a prediction whether it's going to be a sub or knockout. Tonight and tomorrow, I will watch some of his interviews because in all his previous fights, he's told you before, like watch Paddy's previous interviews in the lead up to his past fights. He tells you if he's going for a KO or he's going for a submission. I haven't watched his interviews yet, so I don't know. But he will tell you whether he's going for a KO or whether he's going for a sub. And whatever he tells you he's going to do, that's what he's actually going to go for. So I think a really good bet would be watch his interviews, see if he's saying sub or KO, and then bet that. And just bet Paddy by KO or Paddy by sub, or just flat Paddy by finish. I think that's a really, really good bet. I think Paddy finishes him in round one. Maybe Gordon's not horrible. Maybe he survives in the second round and maybe even in the third. But I just don't see him getting out of this fight, man. And like, what's his route to victory? That's not like what does Jared do better than Paddy? He definitely doesn't grapple better than him, and I don't think he strikes better than him either. Even though Paddy leaves his chin fucking way the fuck up there, I don't think Jared has the power or the speed or the precision to capitalize on that. I do think he's going to hit Paddy once or twice. Paddy always gets hit. But I think Paddy will fucking eat those shots like Hasidic Yag and just keep going. And like without seeing his interviews, I'm going to say Paddy by sub, but I'm going to watch some of his interviews and I might change that to Paddy by KO, but definitely Paddy by finish. Right now, I'm leaning late first, early second. Let's say submission, rear naked choke. That's what I'm saying right now. But that could change. I want to see Paddy's demeanor. Paddy's one of those fighters you can really read a lot from in his pre-fight interviews. So I highly recommend you're doing that if you're betting on that fight. Now, the main events, which we've all been waiting for. Live from the UFC, I don't know where this fucking is, arena. Jan, the Polish penis, Blachowicz versus Magomed, the inbred, and Goliath. What? Fuck, I forgot what the odds are on. I think Magomed right now is like minus 215. He's taller, but he has a reach disadvantage. He's got 3-inch disadvantage, even though he's 1 inch taller, that's always a huge bonus for the shorter guy. So I like that for Jan. And in the stand-up, Jan should have the stand-up. They're both orthodox. They're both like similar reach, but Jan has so much so much more experience against high-level fighters. But I cannot bet against the inbred strength of Magomed Ankalaev. It says here his takedown accuracy is only 33%. Maybe I'm just retarded. Maybe I'm not remembering shit. But I don't remember Magomed missing out 2/3 of his takedown attempts. I don't know how accurate that statistic is. And they're saying his takedown average is 1 per fight. Does that sound right to you? Does that sound right to you? Like that's like he is willing. Like he definitely has a slow pace. He's definitely a slow paced Dagestani fighter. He's not going to make any mistakes. Like he's going to be very calculated, especially in a 5-round fight. This is going to be, I think this is going to be a relatively boring fight until someone gets finished. If someone gets finished, fuck. I am always so biased against Dagestanis. I almost always pick against Dagestanis, and I almost always get it wrong. I cannot pick against the inbred strength. Even I could see Jan catching him. I can definitely see him catching him with that legendary Polish power. And like I said, that reach advantage while being shorter is going to be huge. And being the shorter fighter, it's going to help him a little bit with the takedown defense. But how the fuck do you go against Magomed Ankalaev? His only loss, I think, it very well could have been a fixed loss. It's either that or he made literally the dumbest fight IQ decision in the history of the UFC. Like you're just going to jump into Paul Craig's guard with 10 seconds left? Like why the fuck would you do that? That makes no fucking sense. And then you're going to tap to a choke with 1 second, not even 1 second, like a half a second left. Like you just go out. It's not a painful thing. You just go out if you're in that scenario anyways. It seemed really fucking suspicious to me. In my eyes, Magomed is 19-0. He's a fucking perfect record. And he hasn't really been tested that much by anyone. This is a step up in competition by him. Jan by TKO, I could see it, Toast. I can definitely see it. And I think a good hedge would be Magomed on points, but plus 225, that's a great bet. I really like that fucking bet. And then hedge it with Jan via TKO. I don't know what it is, but that's considering Jan's line, I think it's like plus 200 right now or plus 180. So him by TKO is probably like maybe plus 285 or something like that. I think that's the smartest way because I can see it. You can make a good argument for Jan Blachowicz. You really can. But he's 39 years old, and I know Glover was just a champion at 42 or 43, but still, like, just because Glover can do it doesn't mean Jan Blachowicz can do it. He's just at that age where I'm not saying he's done. I'm not saying he's fallen off at all. But he's at that age where that fall off can literally happen at any fucking day. Any fucking day he wakes up. He could be still in it, like in the later stages of his prime today. He could wake up tomorrow and just fall off that cliff. Like that's a possibility. So factoring that in, Magomed's 9 years younger, and he's gonna take him down eventually. Ankalaev has never had a submission win. Thinking he's going to just grapple is insane. No, I'm not saying he's going to win by submission. No, I think he's gonna wet blanket the fuck out of him for 3 out of the 5 rounds, maybe 4 out of the 5 rounds. I'm not saying Ankalaev is going to get a submission win. He could get a TKO win. He could take him down and pound him out. I could see that. No, I don't think this is going to be like a jiu-jitsu match, Toast. Like not at all. I agree with that, but I am done. I am so done picking against Dagestanis. I've done it so fucking much, and I've lost so fucking much doing it. And Ankalaev, he just doesn't have many weaknesses. He doesn't have a lot of output, but I think that helps him in this fight because he's not going to rush in and get clipped with a Polish power left hook. I don't see that happening. I think he's going to be too reserved, too cautious, and he's going to pick his spots, especially in a 5-round fight. The only thing that makes me think maybe Jan could do it is like this is it's a huge level step up in competition for Magomed, but also it's a huge platform step up. He's never been the main event of a pay-per-view fighting for a title before. That's the biggest X factor. Is he putting a fuck ton of pressure on himself for this fight? If he is, that can definitely favor Jan. Because if he is, that could affect his cardio, that could affect his confidence in decision making inside the cage. But because he's Dagestani, because he fucking looks like this lad, because he looks like that, I feel like he's going to be pretty stoic in there. It's not going to affect him too much, if at all. And I'm going to go Ankalaev, either like late stoppage, like late 4th or 5th round TKO, just pounding him out on the ground, or decision. That's what I'm going to go with. And I think if you like Jan, you should definitely bet Jan by TKO. I don't see how Jan wins a decision here. Jan is using... I agree, Nubby. I don't think... Well, first off, I fucking hate this matchup. I hate that Ankalaev gets a title shot like this. Like, I don't want to say he doesn't deserve it, but we don't deserve it. MMA fans don't. We just fucking got Islam winning the belt against Charles Oliveira. We just got it. We don't need another fucking stupid fucking piece of poop fucking Dagestani chode guzzling piece of shit as champion. And because I'm so much against that, like, I just know it's gonna happen. Like I've seen this play out so many fucking times, man. Bro, they should have offered Glover Jan instead of Ankalaev. Now he won't get another title shot. I'm pretty sure they did, Loquacious. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was the original plan. They're like, okay, we're gonna do Jan Glover because Yuri's out, and Glover turned it down. Like, that's what I heard, anyways. So I'm guessing Glover was hurt, and maybe he felt like, well, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know the reasons why he turned it down, but I'm pretty sure he turned it down. Ankalaev switches stances, and last time Jan fought a southpaw like Reyes, he KO'd him. Good. Okay, that's a good point. But I can see Ankalaev catching him as well. I think Ankalaev is going to get dropped in this fight. I think it's very likely he gets dropped in this fight, but I don't think he's going to put himself in enough situations where I don't think he's going to get dropped more than once. And I don't know. I just feel like he's going to play it safe. And I like that, which is the way he should play it. And I think he's just going to take Jan down. If he can't take Jan down, then he might have some issues. But even then, even if it's just a pure stand-up striking match, I don't think Jan... I think Jan is better, but I don't think he's so much better where it's worth a bet on the money line. Jan is only worth a bet via TKO KO, I think. Glover beats Ankalaev or other way around. Glover versus Ankalaev is a more interesting matchup than Jan versus Ankalaev, I think. Glover's got a better shot than Jan does. Actually, I would love that. Glover versus Ankalaev, that would be a much more fun fight. Rakic deserved it more. Rakic was still hurt, I believe, from the Jan fight. So, they offered Glover Ankalaev because they favor the Rakic. Oh, really? Oh, shit. Glover Ankalaev would have been a fun fight. Like, I would much prefer that fight over Jan Ankalaev because I just think he's going to take Jan down and smash him in the later rounds. Who has Ankalaev out-grappled other than Paul Krieg, who pulls guard, and Anthony, I broke my leg straight? Toast, I agree. I said that. Like, his resume is not great. This is a massive, massive step up. But Jan isn't, like, I think Jan's got like 50% takedown defense, which is like average. And he's going up against a fucking Dagestani who's, other than his Paul Craig fight, he fights pretty smart, and I just don't see him beating himself in this fight. But like I said, I can see Jan. There's so many fucking fights on this card where I can see it going the opposite way of what I picked. This is a fucking terrible card to fight on, to bet on. This is an atrocious card to bet on. But there are some good spots in there, I think. Yeah, true. Rakic will probably fight Yuri next year. Possibly. I don't know. I feel like when Yuri comes back, he's gonna get an auto title shot. So it just depends on where they're at in their career. I don't. If Rakic is the champion, then yes. But if he isn't, then I would say no, probably. Um, but yeah, let's see. It's better Ankalaev is champ right now than Jan because he won't be champ for long. Yuri beats him, possibly Glover. Yuri beats Ankalaev, dude. I think Ankalaev beats Yuri. Like Ankalaev was the guy that I was really worried for Yuri's sake. Just looking at the rankings, I was always thinking that's the guy you don't want to face, you know, because that's the guy who's not going to leave himself open and he's going to try to wet blanket you and he's going to try to win as cheaply and as boringly as possible, which is I think that's how you beat Yuri. So I don't agree with that at all. But I definitely I can see how Glover beats him. I think Glover Ankalaev is like a 50-50 matchup, and I would love to see that fight down the line. If Ankalaev wins, I hope Jan doesn't get damaged. I like him. Yeah, I agree. I like Jan too. He's definitely one of the few light heavyweights who's actually good. And Jan is a much better champion than Ankalaev could ever be. And I hope Jan wins. I genuinely hope Jan wins. But he's 39, man. He's 30. Like, we don't know. I mean, we just saw this with Holland and Wonderboy. One of the reasons why I picked Holland was because Wonderboy's fucking 39. And I was like, does he still have the speed and his strikes and everything? And it turns out he does. But how much longer is he going to have that? You know, like probably not too much longer. And even going forward, I'm probably not betting on Stephen Thompson because he loses that fight if Holland isn't a fucking moron. Like I made a good prediction. Holland should have won that fight. He just chose to let him up for no fucking reason. Like for no fucking reason. Till has flabs. Dude. Toast, are you picking Till or Drickus? Because matchup rise, it favors Till, but lifestyle wise, it massively favors Drickus. And I always favor the guy who seems to want it more. Glover would have beat Ankalaev if he took the fight for this card. I think it's 50-50, but I think Glover has a much better chance of beating him than Jan does. And it would have been a much more exciting main event. I think the grappling exchanges between Glover and Ankalaev would have been really fun to watch. Toast, who says his ab transplant. Yes, he was at Tiger Muay Thai Kamikaze. Who was it? Fucking Till. Till 2 down the pipe as Drickus rushes in. No, I 1,000% agree. Till is going to be countering Drickus the entire time that the fight is standing up. Till's going to be countering this motherfucker the entire time. I agree. 1,000%. I agree, Toast. But he doesn't have the power for. I feel like Drickus is going to eat those shots. I feel like he's going to counter him, and it's not going to. And as he's countering him, Drickus will eat it, and that will allow. But he'll allow him to close the distance, and then he'll grab a hold of Till and trip him or some shit. I don't know. I see Till easily winning the stand up here. I totally agree, Toast. But he doesn't have the power to capitalize. He's not going to knock Drickus out. He's just not going to. And I don't know. It's a good matchup for Till. Like I said, it's a good matchup striking wise, stylistically. But how can you trust a man who drinks that much as a fighter? Like there are always exceptions. There are always your John Joneses, you know, who can fucking party the night before, the weekend before, and fight all fucked up and still be incredible. There's always those people, but Darren Till is not that. Darren Till is not John Jones in the fucking slightest. And Darren Till was super overrated on his come up. I hated him on his come up. I like him now. Ever since he started falling, I like Darren Till now because I've always known this about Darren Till, that he was just like a fucking dumb. He's just a bitch, to be honest. He's just a bitch who's like, this is an overrated bitch, but like he's shown his true colors now. He doesn't hide it anymore. So I actually like him. But I don't think Darren has Oh, he beat Gastelum. Gastelum versus Dricus would be interesting. But also he did beat Gastelum. And it's a different fight, but like and that, I think that was a split decision too. But um I gotta go Dricus here. I gotta go Dricus, especially with the X factors, which I truly believe the UFC told Darren Till, you're fighting this fight. We don't give a fuck how injured you are. If you pull out, you're getting cut. Period. I had that gut feeling months ago, um, and because of that gut feeling, and because of Darren Till's propensity to get injured, I just feel like he comes to this fight injured, and that's going to make his. I don't know what the injury is, but it's likely going to make his shots even less powerful than they already are, which is not that powerful to begin with. His counters are going to look crisp, but it's not going to matter. You gotta go Trickus here. Maybe I wouldn't bet Trickus at minus 190. I don't think that I would look at some props and shit, but I don't know. If you like Till, it's a good bet, but I don't like Till. I just don't fucking like Till. Who's gonna push at weigh-ins? Tapuria's ego pushes Farmer. That's a good question. I don't really know. Is hand sanitizer boy gonna push inbred Arkansas boy? I could see it. I can see it. I think there's a little bit of tension in that fight. How do I know Darren's a heavy drinker? Fucking look at him. Yeah, thank you, Sigma Trillionaire. He got a DUI last month, dude. Last month in camp. He's in camp fighting a pretty crazy up-and-comer whose only loss in his last like 16 fights was against Roberto Soldic, who he beat the previous fight. Like Dricus is legit. He's legit. I think Dricus has a lot of issues once he gets into like the higher echelons of middleweight. But Till isn't that anymore. Till, like, and this, like, I've said it so many times, this matchup favors Till, but this if this fight took place 5 years ago, I'd probably go with Till. But it's not 5 years ago. It's now. And Till is a 43-year-old man in a 29-year-old body. I think he's done. Overrated. He stood with Wonder Boy and won. He lost that. In my opinion, I remember thinking Wonder Boy won that fight. And I fucking hate Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy is my least favorite fighter ever. Maybe, no, not ever, but he's one of my least favorite fighters ever, just as a human. And I always root against him. And I thought Wonder Boy won that fight. So, I mean, it was a split decision, if I'm not mistaken. It was a very close fight. And yeah, dude, Till's striking is pretty good. His ability to counter is pretty fucking good. But Dricus is going to take his ass down. I don't think this is going to be a pure stand-up fight. He's going to counter him, and Dricus isn't. He's just going to take it like it's fucking nothing. I feel like at this point, like a civilian could probably take a fucking Darren Till punch. I smiled when Woodley smashed Till. I didn't. I was rooting for Till just because I fucking hated Woodley. I absolutely fucking hated Woodley, so I wasn't happy about that. But I knew it was going to happen though. Like I did not think Till had a chance, but I was pulling for him. Nubby, you were like 9 when that happened. True, Sigma. Till also had the closest fight with Whitaker out of all the middleweight top contenders. I agree, MMA Joey. He did. That's also a matchup thing. And Whitaker didn't really try to take him down. If that fight happens now, I think Whitaker destroys him. Like, that's what I think. But I agree. Like, it was a close fight. But that's also like just striking wise. The way Whitaker likes to charge in, and Whitaker like has like the same basic combinations. That's really preferable for a Darren Till style. There's a lot of favorable matchups for Darren Till in the middleweight division. Whitaker is one of them, just stand up wise, but he doesn't have the dedication of the sport, man. Like you can't be a non-heavyweight and look that fucking shitty and have your body just like. He looked pretty fucking good when he was a welterweight, and when he first went to middleweight, he still looked pretty good, and now he looks so fucking shitty. Like I haven't looked at I haven't watched Embedded or anything. It's like I haven't seen I haven't seen what his body looks like right now, and like how he looks in the weigh-ins and the ceremonial weigh-ins. That could possibly sway my prediction if Till looks like he has muscle again, like he's not just some fat fucking skinny fat slob. Because like I said, stylistically, this favors Till, but you can't go Till here. Well, you can. As an underdog, you can, but don't expect him to win just because it's a good stylistic matchup. Hi, Lisa Riley. How's it going? I got your money today, so thank you so much, Lisa Riley. I appreciate it again. Especially after Woodley did the BLM demonstration and called Kobe racist. Oh my God, I know. Dude, fuck that. I'm still pissed off that the UFC stripped Colby of his belts a month after he won it, because he needed surgery on his eye. And he's like, dude, I'll fight. I think it was in October. He's like, dude, I'll fight Woodley in October. They're like, no, it has to be September. He's like, I'm getting surgery. Give me a month, dude. Like, this is legit. I want to fight Woodley. I know I can beat him, but like, no. And then they gave Woodley Kamaru instead. And then and everything else was fucking, yeah. Like Kobe should have been the fucking unified, undisputed welterweight champion, and it's fucking bullshit that he never had that opportunity. Well, he had the opportunity against Kamaru, but both times in that he got robbed. So, yeah, dude, I'm still salty that we've never got to see Colby with the actual belt, because that would be so fucking cool. I think he's sexy and I like his personality, but I don't really know what he's talking about most of the time. I just know O'Malley and McGregor. Classic Lisa Riley. Lisa Riley sent money. Yes, she did. She's a very nice female woman. And she donated $10 to me like a week ago, and I got it today. So yes, thank you very much. I got it today. They took 13% out. So if you want to donate again, I have a different donation link, and they take 0% out, which is really fucking cool. But yeah, or Cashapp at 6. So I got my Cashapp credit card today, or debit card. So that, like, you donate to me, and I can just use it right then. There are no fees, no nothing. It's just really fucking cool. Lisa Riley, you have kids? Not yet, but I had an abortion. Classic Lisa Riley. Would you have kids with Guru? Okay, this is becoming a fucking Lisa Riley smut fest. So I have to fucking go. I gotta put in my NBA bets. There, that's fucking right on time. I can go like a few more minutes. If anyone wants to ask me any questions about this fight card or anything in general, thank you, Champ. Thank you for your numbers. It's very, very much appreciated. Champ, you were not in the Tapology group last week. Champ, remember to join the Tapology group. Toast, join the Tapology group. Loquacious, I know you're in the Tapology group, but you don't do it. Fucking join the Tapology group. It makes watching the fights at least 3 or 4 times more fun, because every single fight you got something riding on it. You know, it's like, it's not money, but it's bragging rights. It's Jerusalem bragging rights. And yeah, there are so many fights in the past 5 cards where normally I wouldn't give a shit about it, and I might just like watch out of the corner of my eye, and I might do something else. Nubby, you haven't joined it? In Discord, Toast, Nubby, in Discord, go to Tapology results. It's on the top. And there's a link to our Discord group. Just join Discord, make an account, takes a minute, and join that group, and then either Wulad or Sean Strickland's burner will accept you, and then you pick who you think's gonna win the fight, and you pick the method of how they're gonna win. KO, TKO, KO, submission, or decision, and then you pick the round too if you go by finish. The scoring system, I think, is a little messed up. I think you should get more points for calling a fight right, like the winner right, and a little bit less points for the method. Just because like the method in the round, there's a lot of randomness to it, but like who's going to win the fight is a lot less random. So I think the scoring system is definitely flawed. But that being said, it's still so much fun. I was fucking on musicals ass last week, like 4 or 5 times the entire week. I was like, get in Tapology, get in Tapology, get in Tapology. He finally did the day of, and then he won, and he fucking won. So all you motherfuckers, I'm on your ass. Like, you might fucking win, and if you win, then you get the golden fucking Jew of the week. I vote on Discord. No, but dude, like this keeps track. Like, once you create an account on Tapology, it keeps track of every fight you've ever predicted. It keeps track of your percentages and everything. So it holds you accountable, which I really fucking like. Like, just saying your shit in Discord, it's eventually just gonna go off into the ether. It keeps everything fucking, like, it keeps everything logged for you, and you're going up against everybody else. It's just a fun contest, and the winner gets Jew of the Week. And if you get top 1%, which Musical did last week and Kamikaze did 3 weeks ago, I believe, or 4 weeks ago, because there was a week there was no MMA. Yeah, so 2 times already we've already got people in the top 1% of the entire site, which is like 4,000 or 5,000 people betting or predicting. Sup, Chimp? But yeah, Chimp, make your picks. Lisa Riley, make your picks. Loquacious, please make your picks. Toast, make your picks. The more people that make their picks, MMA Joey, I don't know if you're on there or not, but make your fucking picks, dude. I'm telling you, it's more fun. Like, if you don't, you're just missing out on more exciting. Like, it can make a boring fight somewhat exciting, and it can make an exciting fight really exciting, especially because, like, after every fight, I refresh Tapology, so I like to see where we are in the standings. All right, Champ, that's fine. Well, Champ, to be fair, your predictions have been fucking atrocious, so I get it. I haven't been accepted. You haven't? Okay. Nubby, DM. Okay, Loquacious, can you do something about this? Nubby, DM Wulad or DM Strickland's Burner, and they'll let you in. Okay, Champ. Jesus. I knew that was you. I fucking knew you were Dukas Boy. You're like, I'm not Chimp, Mr. Dukas Boy 98. I knew you were a Chimp. But oh my God. I knew that one was Chimp too, that Ilya. Loquacious, get him. Fucking get him. Okay, Nubby, please don't join in. But yeah, DM Mulad, DM Strickland's Burner, they'll do it. I think we should have more admins in there just so we have more people that can accept people. But yeah, that's all I think I have to say about this card. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I think I'm gonna go. I want to talk to Musical and see if maybe he'd want to go live tomorrow and we'd have like a discussion about some of the fights. Or if any of you want to go live and have a discussion, Toast. You're the only one in here that actually that isn't fucking scared to show their face. So if you want to have like conversation, if you want to like have a back and forth of why you think Jan is going to beat Ankalaev, like, I'm all for it, because I want to have something like that either tomorrow or Friday or Saturday before the fights. I think that'd be really cool. But I need let's see if I missed anything. No, it's mostly spam. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Remember to like the video. Remember when my predictions turn out right, that I made you some money. So thank you guys for watching. Take care, toodle pip, and peace out.